You guys ready finally? Been hounded and hounded and hounded for this shop tour video. Just so happens I have a little bit of time right now. Here we go. Our shop has gone through some major work over the last couple of years. When I started years ago, it was a dungeon. It was basically this part right here. It went back to about right here. That was the shop. These posts here, them were the walls. So you had this little bit to work in. And those out there was cold storage. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Mike decided to fix this place up right. And he did a really nice job. This thing is about as good as it gets when it comes to wrenching in here. It is really, really nice. So what he did was he opened that all up, insulated the whole outside, redid the insulation, and built this on. This wasn't here. It was just that up there. This was outside. Beyond that wall was outside. If you look up, you can see where the original building was right here. So that wall right there was the exterior wall. And then over here was a little storage room. We opened that up, we redesigned that, and he redesigned this over here. And it has paid big time. When you bring a piece of equipment here to work on, it is so nice. We got huge doors down at that end. We needed big doors. That'll fit the chipper through here. The chipper's 12.5 foot wide. That backs right in here real nice. The pit, I mean, what can you say? It's all lighted down through there. We got that all redone. There wasn't even a pit here before. We got that built. A little drain here. This place is a joy to work on. So I guess we'll just start over here. These are V12 parts. We're getting 2 V12s and turning them into one. That had nothing to do with me, so don't be asking me questions. Those are saw blades for the firewood processor. That's a junk one. That's a good spare. As a good spare, I mean brand new one. So these are all V12 parts. That's the frame that sits on the chipper. Just your normal tools over here. Got the hoist over here. This swings out both ways. So you can easily pull a skidder in here. You can have a skidder. You can put 2 skidders in this side, and you could put a skidder over there. You can put multiple trailers in here at one time. So it makes a huge difference when it comes to breakdowns or when you're shut down and you need to work on equipment, because you can put a lot of stuff in here. That's a junk fan for my C13 that got ruined. Mud flaps, flail rods over there, flail rods down there, air filter for the V12. This is the knife corner over here. These are all sharp knives that are ready to go for the new chipper right here. These are for the Model 23. Dull ones down here, good ones up here. Okay. These are counter knives for the old chipper. You just have miscellaneous knives. Counter knife for the old chipper. Knife holders for the new chipper, for the old chipper. Knife boxes. Clamps. Those are all clamps up here. See these here? You can put a new bolt back into these and reuse them. So there's multiple different sizes for either chipper up there. This is the knife corner. Nice little drill press. Now this is our knife sharpener. Okay. This is where all the sharpening happens. Everybody asks a lot of questions about our knives. Our knives go in here. I'll make a knife sharpening video someday, but they go in here. That grinding wheel goes back and forth, and it's a beautiful thing. This is what it does. Is it turns those jump knives into razor sharp knives that sit in here, and every time you redo it, these get bigger, therefore your knife is the same every time. That's how this works right here. Okay, I'll do a knife sharpening video one of these days. Oh, we also have a real good educational program here at our shop. You can learn how to count by threes. That's nice to have. Just joking. Tools, stuff here. Power washer. We got those. That thing works wonderful. It's got the hose that runs all the way down to that end and outside, so you can power wash stuff outside. It is a hot water one too. Coffee, refrigerator, bathroom, and that's the office in there. It's shut down for the night. Yada 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 yada. The boss's four-wheeler. Okay. That's a radiator for the V12, the old V12. That one might have a leak in it. I'm not sure if that's the leaked one or the good one. This is a grab arm for the buncher, trailer, just multiple stuff kicking around in here. Your press right here. This thing is really nice to have. Works great. We're running that air compressor there. That's the old one. When we put this in, it has, I'll show you here, it's got air drops all over through this thing. There's one on that post, and you see on this post, and then they go down to each post all the way down through there. Even got, is there one not poking out of the pit? Thought there was a hole poking out of the pit right there. There's got to be one down there. Yeah, right there. There's a hole, so you can hook the air up in the pit. That's how that works. These just parts over here. Floor dry, anybody? Parts, you name it. Valve banks, yokes, U-joints for skidders, all your different hose clamps. A lot of people, tires, rims, tires. A lot of people have a lot of questions on all the axles we have and all the tires and how much fun that is. It's a lot of work. A lot of U-joints for trucks. Just all kinds of parts. It looks like chaos, but there's a lot of organization in here. The shop guys know where pretty much everything's at, unless the woods guys or somebody comes in here or a truck driver messing with their stuff. So a lot of the filters right on the trans for the 660D, the 660C, filters. These are all for the chipper, buncher, chipper, some of the filters. So, and over here you got your nuts and bolts. Yeah, fittings, crimper, more fittings. Them are airline fittings you have. These are some other fittings. Looks like a good job for somebody. Grease gun action. Heat exchanger. We got an outdoor boiler. AC unit. We don't need that right now. Draining your oil. Cherry picker. All these miscellaneous stuff, chains and jacks and floor jacks, because you never know when you're going to get into a pickle with heavy equipment and you can't get stuff straightened out. So there's a greaser we got, air greaser. That tub's full of used motor oil. This is an old DEF tank that's empty. Filters, all organized. These are all my chipper filters right here. So these I'm going to put in my chipper, and then I got my other chipper filters up there. So I got to do a service on that coming up, so he's already ordered me all those to be ready to go. Buncher, truck filters, your slasher filters, your old slasher filters, new cat skidder stuff right here. And then your John Deere 848 and your old chipper stuff up there. See how there's a bunch of that? Because it really doesn't get run that much. So when you got a bunch of extra stuff, it's probably not getting used that much. When you get down there where there's a big empty hole, that's because you're working. So let's go over here. Here's your different jugs for your windshield washer fluid. Your Duratrans, he's got more of that coming for me because I need some for the chipper. Antifreeze. There's two different kinds of antifreeze. Bar and chain oil. Different colors of antifreeze because I like green for the chipper because I can see it better. There's the used motor oil. Hydraulic tank is right here for filling up stuff for the woods. And your motor oil tank is right here. Flail chain. That's an empty barrel. Empty barrel. And there's a barrel of, he's saving the used ones. That'll work. And the old chipper, well, you take some of the used ones, use them in there. Here is our DEF tank. So that's getting used more and more and more with more stuff we buy. It's the newer stuff. So, and you just got your miscellaneous shop stuff kicking around. This is our shop. A lot of people ask, now you can pull a truck in here where before it would barely fit in here. Now you can have like 3 trailers in here if you wanted, chip vans, and still have trucks and trucks over there. So you can pull truck way up in here if need be. It's just really nice to have a nice big shop, and they do a good job of keeping it clean. And it helps when everybody helps out keeping it clean. There is air lines poked outside too. That way we have air all down through this thing and all poking outside in case we need them outside, because a lot of times you got to work on something outside. Here's a power washer here. You're wanted here. And that thing, you got to have it. I mean, it just, for us, it's necessary. But here's your air line that pokes outside there. You got hoses and more longer wands for your water washing. Stakes for the log truck that I broke. There's just a lot of stuff in here, but you could get lost in here playing through those parts, but we're not going to do that. Ladders, because when you got to work on those trailers, they're higher up than they look, and when you got to do lights on them all the time because they're constantly getting broke off, it makes a big difference to have some nice ladders. And when you're working on them skidders and bunchers, and you got to have ladders kicking around. So torches, welder. But this hoist is nice to have when you can swing it out. It's hooked up now, but when you can swing that baby out, work on some stuff, it is really nice. So, trying to think of anything else. Oh, this is a parts washer here. Almost walked right around that. Right here. So, they got fun welding on it and welded the little emblem. We'll show you that. See, shop rats. But it is nice to have something big like this. If you got to pull a cylinder and clean a cylinder out, something like that, you got this big honking thing to clean. So that works really nice. Just a little bit of steel here. All kinds of different belts. All kinds of different fittings over here. Anything you can think of, fittings, sockets, different stuff for your trucks. You're always, with 6 trucks on the road right now, and 6 chip vans, and a log truck, and both skidders, buncher, chipper, slasher, tool truck, service trucks, you're constantly working on stuff in here. They're constantly ordering parts for something that's broke down. But that's kind of everything. Tire blaster, that works great. There's an old welder over there. Old welder. It's a real deal. Hopefully this answers some questions about the shop. You could spend a lot more time in here walking around because there's stuff shoved in all kinds of nooks and crannies. There's stuff outside in chip vans and old chippers, and there's a bunch more miscellaneous parts and stuff outside. But not today. It's dark out, so we're doing a shop tour. Hopefully that answers some questions on the shop. A lot of people wanted to see it. This is the setup we have. It works wonderful for us. I mean, just wonderful for us. And it's been super nice adding this big addition on, especially now that we're doing more and more trucks. We had to do that. That was a necessity, and it got done. And it's nice to pull something in over that pit. Even the Ford, it breaks down. Pull it in over here, work on it. That is nice. So this whole thing is just a true blessing when you're working on equipment, to have a nice area to work on, nice lighting. Mike did not mess around with the lighting in this place. I got those lights off, but this thing lights up like a Christmas tree. So lighting is nice, and it was all brown metal before. So we went with all white, redid it all, and that makes a huge difference. So anyways, hope they answer some questions on the shop tour. That is our shop. And the only thing in here is a Ford.